Good afternoon, Mike and Steve together again in a special older generation video here. So back together. So today's exciting topics: OpenAI purchasing iPhone's Johnny Ive, his company. Are they purchasing the company or are they purchasing Johnny Ive? We'll find out. Another exciting thing, your favorite coin in your wallet or in your pocket, maybe not, the penny could be eliminated from production. I know that'll be a tragedy, but we'll cover that. And then Steve is going to talk about some of the strategies, other holdings, or other ways to invest. But before we get started, this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence on anything that you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on AnkerstarWealth.com, and the opinions expressed are mine and Steve's alone. So anyways, Steve, how long have you had an iPhone?
I had an iPhone since Allie shamed our entire family into that she couldn't take a Samsung phone to school, and it was middle school, so that was probably 6th grade. So I don't know, 8 or 9 years.
8 or 9 years. So I don't know if you've heard of Johnny Ive, but he is one of the key designers. And next I'm going to cover just a little bit of the Wikipedia page, but him and, of course, the legends of Apple, who have sadly passed away, created the iPhone. And I bet you probably didn't even realize at the time, Johnny Ive was kind of a lot of the brains behind it. Have you heard of Johnny Ive before?
I did not. All new information.
Well, anyways, Johnny Ive, he spun out of Apple, I believe in 2019. I'm going to pull this up. I highlighted a little piece. He was the chief design officer, working closely with Steve Jobs. Consider, hey, if you have your own Wikipedia page, you're already somebody, right? I haven't searched to see if my name's out there yet. But anyways, vital role in the designs of products like Apple Watch, iMac, iPod, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, and the iOS for Apple. So a key brain. Well, anyways, he spun out in 2019, started his own company, and guess what? OpenAI and Sam Altman have purchased his company. Now, what's interesting about this is OpenAI, Microsoft has a large stake in OpenAI. They are not the majority holder. They don't drive them, but they've invested a lot of money. And we know that Microsoft and Apple have been in battles before. But this is where basically OpenAI is purchasing the brain power that built the Apple, or was part of building Apple, for a mere $6.4 billion in all stock, and for that. So anyways, thought that was interesting news. We're starting to see these major companies, and I kind of see OpenAI as right now it's independent, but Microsoft definitely has some influence. But you're starting to see each one of them cross boundaries to battle with the other ones. Interesting. So now another thing, lately we've been hearing, tax, the big beautiful tax bill passing through. So this piece of news may have snuck up on you, but the Treasury is set to halt penny production. So Steve, how much do you think it costs to make a penny now? Have you heard that number before?
2 pennies, 2 cents.
2 pennies. That would be a deal. It's actually, let's see, I think it's listed as 3.69 cents to make 1 penny. So that's not a good deal.
Yeah, makes no sense, right?
Makes no sense, yeah. And
that's
I don't know about you.
Makes no sense.
Did you ever collect pennies as a kid?
I did. I used to, all the old pennies and stuff, I probably still have them somewhere, probably worth 1 cent.
Wow, leads right into my next thing. What are they worth? So if you had one of those Lincoln wheat pennies, most of those are worth a couple cents. So good thing you didn't use that as investing. There are a few that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but chances are you don't have one of those. But right. I just thought it was interesting. And it even mentioned here, and I bet you've never heard this term before, but penny is the gateway coin for new collectors. It's like the gateway drug of coin collection. So,
Yeah, I have not heard
so I thought I would test your math and Bitcoin knowledge.
that. Okay, I'm ready.
So I have a question for you, Steve. Based on the current value of Bitcoin, how many pounds of pennies would you have to purchase one Bitcoin?
All right, well, we are at new highs, which we're going to talk about here in a second at 111,745. So I would have to know the weight of a penny, which I do not.
Come on now.
So I'm going to throw out some ridiculous answer that sounds good, like 8 tons, 16,000 pounds.
Well, at least you know the conversion of tons to pounds. You're close,
Hey,
but not quite.
Math extra credit.
I used 110,000 as the value of Bitcoin, so an hour ago's value. 60,000 pounds of pennies. 60,000, okay. Which they said on the website would be 8 F-150 trucks to get one Bitcoin. So, anyways, I just thought that would be good knowledge to know. If you roll up with 60,000 pounds of pennies, you can purchase one Bitcoin, which weighs basically nothing. So, right? Yeah. With that, I will turn it over to you and take it away with strategy.
All right, you bet. One thing I've always been able to count on Mike on for several years now is useless math knowledge. But since he proclaims to be better than me at this thing called math, we have to kind of give him that. So, all right, let's share out my screen here. Yeah, hey everybody, let's look at Bitcoin. Have the screen finally shared out. We had to take a pause for a second there, but it is what you see at the top there, new 52-week high. Let's scroll down and take a look at this chart. We talked about it yesterday when I did the solo show, kind of rejoicing the new highs in Bitcoin. Well, today we're going to talk about a couple of different topics, but we do want to acknowledge that 111.8 now is the new high. I'm sure I hope we're at 112 here soon. But the real topic I want to talk about, and if you want to talk Bitcoin investing, reach out to your advisor. Obviously, I'm a big fan, but I want to talk to you about a couple other versions, if you will, that are much safer. And these are preferred stocks, and they pay out a straight percentage. So let's talk STRK first. This is a MicroStrategy. It's a preferred stock. So not to go into the difference between regular stock and preferred stock, but a preferred stock pays a dividend. And in this case, this strike STRK pays a straight 8%, an 8% dividend, which when you look at it, the price kind of fluctuates. It's been climbing higher lately, but you get 8%. And then at the end of whenever you want, it's perpetual, you can convert it into MicroStrategy stock because it's MicroStrategy sponsored. So therefore, these things are fairly new. So there's a lot of questions out there about them. I think it's a fantastic way to earn 8%. I view this as just another way to, like the dollar uses treasury bills and CDs to be able to get you the risk-free rate, which is 4.7%. But you're taking a little more risk here because it's backed by Bitcoin. But if you believe in the Bitcoin story and you think that Bitcoin's going higher, then you consider this just a regular dividend that is very stable and straightforward. So there's two versions. There's the STRK, and I've been buying these for some client portfolios. So if you see it in your portfolio, make sure you reach out and ask if you have any questions on how it works. But again, you get 8% with STRK with the option to convert later on. And then if you talk about STRF, so strike and strife is how they've been talked about. This one also moves up and down, but this one pays 10%. So you can kind of get 10% while you wait. So when you think of, if you believe the Bitcoin story, which I do, then you could invest in Bitcoin or MicroStrategy or other different options out there, but it's very volatile, right? And that's probably the part of the story you don't necessarily care for. So if you don't care for that, and you just want to make a straight dividend off of the underlying Bitcoin holdings, then STRF will get you 10%. You don't have the same conversion at the end like STRK, so that's why it pays a little bit less. But you can basically get 10% in a perpetual preferred holding, so potentially forever. So obviously we watch these things. They do sell on the open market, so it does move up and down. And again, the purpose behind these two preferreds is that you basically are loaning your money to MicroStrategy, who is then buying Bitcoin and gaining from the appreciation for that, and you're getting 10% for basically loaning your money to them, is how you can do this. So where do I put this on the risk spectrum? You have, CDs and treasuries are basically your low risk, and then you have investment grade bonds, and then you have high yield bonds. These are technically high yield, but I think they're a lot less risky than high yield. Normally, I don't touch high yield bonds. These, I think, will come down on the risk spectrum significantly over time. So if those are in your portfolio, if you have any questions about them, probably need to reach out to me, because I'm just teaching some of the other advisors about these two particular holdings. Again, they have not been around for that long. So, and I do think there will be some more of these that pop out over time. So you'll have some more options. But if you're looking at a good way to earn a dividend, and it is a true dividend, it's not income like a CD pays you. So there's a tax advantage for this as well. So, all right, that's all I have on these. Mike, over to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And you're going to go back. Bitcoin's at almost 112,000. Steve, click on it. We'll hit this historic.
I know. I got it right here. It's a 111. Well, it was 9.
Oh, went back. I was going to say, hold your breath till it crossed, but it dropped back. But anyways, it's not only a 52-week high, it's an all-time high. So thank you very much for hopping on. We'll talk to you all later.